Your executive functioning skills are skills that you need to plan and manage and organize your daily life. They help you set goals, they help you regulate your emotion, they help you do all of the things that help you succeed in life. So they are very important, and there are a ton of them. In this series, I'm going to be talking about the most important executive functioning skills, and in this video, we're talking about working memory. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain what working memory is, then tell you why you need it, and then tell you how you can improve this skill in your own life. Working memory is how we organize memory, how we remember short-term things in a way that helps us function. So if we have multiple step tasks, how do we keep track of the task we're on while we're remembering the next task? That's your working memory. So there are a lot of reasons why we need and could get a lot out of working memory. In every single thing we do, every task that we engage in, it helps us keep track of what we're supposed to do, of all of the big picture stuff, but at the same time, it helps you focus on the task at hand. That's not always easy for everybody. Sometimes when they're focused on the task at hand, they lose track of everything else going on and the next steps. And some people are so involved in the huge big picture of it all that they can't focus on the task at hand. For example, maybe they're a perfectionist and they think of all of the things they have to do and they get so overwhelmed by all of those tasks that they can't focus on this task ahead. That's like anxiety or worry getting in the way of being able to concentrate and focus. So working memory helps us focus. In other words, they are those mental sticky notes that help us keep track of everything that we're doing and everything that we're supposed to do. Working memory helps us keep track of what we're learning and build on the next thing. So for example, if you were reading a book, you have to remember and keep track of the stories. When you're learning new things that character is doing, you could follow the context and that will make sense in the context of the story. That's working memory. Working memory helps you with focus and decision making. It helps you keep track of all of the different options that you have and potential consequences of each of those options so that you could be clear and make a decision with intention. Working memory also helps emotional regulation and social skills. Because when you're in a conversation with somebody, you want to keep track of what they're talking about. So you use that short-term memory to keep track of the bullet points of what they say, which helps you ask questions to them when you're asking questions or getting clarification or letting them know that you are listening to them. It helps with emotional regulation because you're remembering your intentions at the same time as you're feeling the response to whatever trigger that just happened. You feel the response to that trigger, but you also have the headspace, the working memory to hold on to how you understand that. You're able to make meaning around that trigger and that event in ways that may help you regulate and calm your emotions so that you can respond with intention. Now let's go over how to improve your working memory, because this is not a life sentence. Having the memory that you have right now is not what it has to be forever, because we are able to develop skills. Humans are adaptive and they're highly able to develop skills. So you have to practice. And here are 6 practices that you could use to increase and improve your working memory skills. One is using apps or games like memory games. You could do these right on your phone if you want to, or use a card game to improve your working memory. 2 is say steps out loud. Not only will you have the memory of it inside your head, but you'll also have the memory of yourself saying it and have the memory of yourself hearing it. So that's 3 times the memory. So number 3 came from a workshop that I went to on how to improve your memory. And the speaker said you need these 4 components. If you have these 4 components, it's easy to remember. And I still remember this chant because we were chanting this over and over and over again. So this proves his theory. The chant was positive, present tense, high emotion, repetition. Positive, present tense, high emotion, repetition. So our human brain remembers things more when there's high emotion around it, when those things are in the present tense. Like if I said to you, don't think of an elephant, you think of an elephant, right? We think in present tense. So that's why all of the child rearing videos always say things in the positive when you're talking to toddlers or kids. Ask them for what you want them to do instead of telling them what you don't want them to do, because they hear it in the positive. Don't think of a pink elephant. Yeah. Okay. So positive, present tense, high emotion, repetition. So high emotion, like if you have a high emotion event that happens or an experience that happens to you, you remember it more. You're putting down that memory in your brain a little bit more because of the intensity of that experience. And then obviously repetition. So some of these other practices are going to also have that repetition, like the last one where we talked about saying it out loud. Number 4 is get present. Get present. Okay, I said this in the last one, talking about positive, present tense, repetition, high emotion. But what I'm saying here in number 4 is be present. I often lose my keys. I'm always multitasking and I forget where I put stuff. And so I have this practice now that when I put something down, I get really present and I see myself putting it there. And if I get really present and see myself putting it there, I'm much less likely to forget where I put it. Also, probably because I'm so conscious, I'm putting it in a place where I will be able to find it. Number 5 is singing songs or rhymes or mnemonics. Those kind of things help your memory because they create emotion. Having a rhyme creates something that you can relate to or you like, or there's a little bit of pleasure to that rhyme, and that helps you remember. Mnemonics help you remember because it gives you something that you could remember. Let me give you an example. Every good boy does fine. That's the notes on the scale and the order of the notes on the scale. Or Roy G. Biv is the colors of the rainbow to help you remember the order of the colors of the rainbow. Those are mnemonics. Many, many teachers use those for all different subjects, but we could use those as adults as well. Last but not least, note-taking or some kind of visual representation of the tasks that you have to do. First of all, writing it down or seeing it is also a trigger to our memory. It helps us keep track of what we don't need to do while we're doing the task at hand. But even if we didn't go back and look at that list, it's already in our mind just because we have already interacted with it, either by writing that down or looking at it, or probably both. So there's working memory. If you want more executive functioning skills, what they are, how they help you, and how to improve them, watch this playlist. So if you want more from me, come on over to my website, jodieman.com, where I have more videos and articles on how to love yourself, release fear, and be the person that you want to be. You ready? Subscribe and keep watching. Check out this next video right here.